Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Nothing But the Tea. With me, your host, Jemima Ndebele, van soos julle ken en soos ons ken, julle hou van stories. So die week het ons dan 'n lekker ketel van stories gekry. We're going to be talking about navigating purpose with two people who I believe have certainly found their purposes. To my right, we have famous South African actor, Gantane Kusch. Hi, Gantane.
Hello, Jemima. I didn't know if that was my cue. Is that my cue?
That's your
Should
cue.
I go in?
That's your cue.
I'm in. Hello, everyone. Namibia. It's an honor to be here. So, let's get into this.
And to my left, we have Nazim, famously known as Nazim, but Irvine van der Merwe.
Yes.
Who is also a famous South African actor, but most people have a lot of resentment towards him because of the role that he plays. So they have, started to think that this is the person that he is. So let's get into purpose, guys. Let's get into purpose. Let's get right into the tea. Now, I'd really like to know, let's start with you, Irvine. Okay. How did you know that acting was your purpose? How did you know that being in the arts is something that resonates with your soul?
I think it's a bug, sort of, that bites, or you just feel comfortable, a yearning towards it. It's a purpose, man. It's like you feel it. It's like a calling.
Yeah.
If I could put it like that. For me, I don't know. I mean, people go into different things for different reasons. It depends on the person. Some go into for fame. I fell in love with the arts, the art of it, getting, forming that character, the
totally embodying it,
yeah,
because
man.
that's what you do.
Yeah, artists, it's an agent for change,
Yeah.
And as artists, we are agents for change, and change is constant. You get me? Hence, in COVID, we were one of the necessary services. We got special permits. That just shows that. We there to inspire people, when either through good or bad times, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I would call it a calling. It's something you feel inside, when it's right or not, you know what I mean? So that for me, it's really, I fell in love with the arts as a whole, performing arts, fine arts, whatever. It's something to do with the soul. Somehow as an artist, you're a vessel for, for inspiration, whatever, I believe, I mean, if we go back to the Stone Ages, the shaman used to be the performing artist, to the Khoisan, let's go to the Khoisan, the real dance, whatever.
Yeah.
That's theater right there. So the shaman himself channeled, the ancestors, whatever. So it's theater, performing arts is something very spiritual, you know what I mean? No matter how you look at it, it inspires it whatever. It's a dominant aspect of humanity for me, what I mean? And I guess that for me, to answer your question, yes, for me it was sort of a calling. So something and you feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I ask, so when was the moment you realized that this acting thing is for you?
It was in a small town called Middelburg in the Eastern Cape, where I schooled, because my dad was a headmaster, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into it, but there was this production, a one-man show that was on its way back from Grahamstown, and he just knew somebody in the town. He's like, okay, you come on the gemeenskapsaal, come perform somewhere. And all my friends are like, bro, what the hell, what the hell? And, everybody's like, no, let's go support, whatever. Like, what the, verstaan je? And they all like, die kinders wag, whatever, And I was really like, wow, I was taken by this, I was like, wow. And they're like, nee, iets verkeerd met jou, bro. What is Jay? They all stand and pin it to be stage, whatever, Jay. But I was there, I was in it, So that's why I realized, I think, wow, maybe the art is for me, and I was always the mondelinge, verstaan jy? So yeah, it was always, I knew that somehow, the performing arts was going to be part of my life, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And was it in that moment, as you stood on that stage, that you realized that I want to do this for the rest of my life?
Not really, because I mean, it was between this and political science law,
Yeah.
And I was going to go to UCT for political science law, and then I did the end of year, like I just want to get my CV lekker at school, like cool, do drama, what.
Yeah.
So audition for the yearly play, which was West Side Story, and then I saw, oh my God, one of the leads, Bernardo, and I was like, people were hating, and like, and I killed it, and I won Best Actor Award for Lowell Bloemfontein Schools Festival, you get me? And I was like, okay, maybe there's something here,
yeah,
you know what
maybe
I mean?
this is for me.
So I went for it. Me and my dad didn't speak for a year because my safety, whatever. So, but I mean, went to the Waterfrontier School, and did 4 years there, and wow, it's been a journey. Like, I mean, and that's the thing. When this is for you is when the hardest times, when the suffering is there, when there's no work, then your passion will pull you through. Then you know why you're in it. You get me? Because then that's where the test comes. Like, okay, am I really performing what, or am I just in the fame or for the whatever, for Sanjay? But that's when like when you're down and out and you're like, oh wow,
I still want to do this.
I want to create. That's where the true creativity comes from, Like the biggest albums, the biggest movies, like, or the most, how can I say, influential, or the most
impactful,
greatest,
most impactful, no?
Exactly, impactful, like arts or art pieces, always from a true and a place of, when artists are suffering.
It's at their lowest.
You can see where it's like, this man, he's not living lacquer now, so the artist just become, you get me? But it's always, and that's where the soul, that's why I believe art has to do with soul, it's to do with, you know what I mean?
It comes from your soul.
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's something we haven't even begun to sort of conceptualize or understand. But if you think at civilization, the Romans, the Greek, performing arts has always been the center of it.
Yeah.
The Rome had the what you call it, Colosseum. That's performing arts. Though people died.
Like literally, people created a space for
you get
it.
Me? But it's always entertainment is. For me, it's the core of civilization.
Yeah,
you know
core
what I mean?
of any society, really.
It's the DNA of any society. You get me? And teaching in itself is a performing arts.
Yeah.
You get me? Teachers are performing artists, bro. You get me?
I
come from a whole line of teachers, bro. You get that's why I know it's performing art. You know what I mean? Same with us, prep. They never stop prepping.
Yeah.
They go work, they still work. You go perform, but then you have to go prep at home. So the work never stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, we're just grateful that we're employed. You know what I mean?
And you, Gantane, when did you know that this thing is for you? Tell us your story. Tell us your experience, open and honestly, as we like it here. Nothing but the tea.
Okay, disclaimer. It's so my ancestors came down from. I'm joking. I was going to be a long story. My ancestors came down from. No, I think acting for me. It's. I remember I was watching Friday, the movie, and Chris Tucker's character Smokey was such a funny and enjoyable character that I thought to myself, oh my days, one day I would like to have that effect that he had on me. I would like to have that on people.
Damn, Debo.
Right? Come on, man. And then it was just always that. But I never knew what it was. I didn't know it was acting, nor did I know that it was one of those things where, you can go study for this. Not that you need to, but you can. And I grew up kind of all over. Born in there, moved to SA, moved around in SA. So everywhere where I moved around, I had no reference as to what acting is. So I had no resources either. So it was just like this kid wanting to be funny, basically.
Yeah. Wanting to entertain.
Yeah. Thank you. So then I looked at homies like Emo Adams and them and Jag, these old South Africans who kind of also paved a way.
Yeah.
So when I looked at them, I was like, oh my days, this looks so cool. It looks like they're in their prime. And I remember when I was in matric, there was a pamphlet that came around with auditions for a play. Sherwin Faru, you know the homie. Yeah. So yeah, he's a South African actor. He directed this play, and it was, I don't know if you guys know Charmaine from Seven de Land.
Yeah.
So it was her arts festival. It was called Veskus Kunstemakiti.
Vanet
Ibrahim. So it was her arts festival, and we were kind of like, it was our maiden. It was the people of the coast, their maiden play at a festival. So it was like by the people, for the people type vibe.
Yeah.
So we did this play, and that kind of like solidified things. But obviously after matric, I had to go study.
Yeah.
And I was like, where does one even start? Where does one go? And then a homie of mine, Jean-Pierre Lesh, he checked out some schools. And then we went to New Africa Theatre Academy, which is like, they don't exist anymore, but they were there for previously disadvantaged kids. Because we didn't have money like that.
Yeah.
We went to New Africa. We did 2 years at New Africa. After New Africa, I was like, nah, I'm not done.
I want
like,
more.
I need more.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you get a NQF level 5 certificate, which means you can go into the industry. You can go, do your thing. And then I was like, nah, B, I don't feel like I have it. And then I applied for UCT, got in, did theatre and performance at UCT, and ever since then, it's been a wrap. But I remember in my first year at UCT, I read a book about acting, and the author posed the question. He asked, "Why do we act?" And he said, "The only adequate answer is because I must."
Oof.
And it sounds profound, and it's also just a verity of life, which goes to, why do you breathe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you must. I know nothing else.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can do. Look, I have different other talents, but this is purpose.
You know, that reminds me of something that a friend of mine said. He's a writer and a performer as well. And he said, you know, Jemima, writing to me is like breathing. Whenever I feel happy, whenever I feel sad, I must do it. And I think that really reminds me of, you know, that thing of purpose. Purpose is really, it brings you to the idea of like, what is the link between purpose and identity?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that as a child, you just wanted to entertain. There was something that you wanted to do. Like, I'm a young child, and I really just want to. There's this part of me that wants to, and it's part of your identity. You want to entertain people. So, do you guys then think that identity ties in with your purpose, and the lack thereof makes it difficult to find your purpose? Had you not known that Gantane likes doing this, had you not known that Irvine likes doing this, you would not have been able to navigate your purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I was having a chat with a friend of mine last week, actually, about purpose and also identity. And I said that what's funny, because I realized it in the moment, is that what's funny is that purpose is sometimes also dictated by what you have around you.
Yeah.
And what you have around you is how you move, which forms part of your identity. And I think identity is such a vast topic. Like, it's so layered that there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to identity. So I think if you go, this bottle, or getting to this bottle is my purpose, you will do anything that you need to do to get there.
Yeah, true.
Things will distract you on the way there, which will kind of teach you a lesson, take from you, be a regrettable moment, be some trauma, whatever the case may be, but you haven't lost sight of the bottle. You want to get there. And I think your purpose is then so strong that it can withstand so many things that'll try and deter you and even shape your identity to not be about this bottle life. But you're about this bottle life. And I think that in itself is also part of your identity, because that speaks to not just your willingness or your determination, but it just speaks to like, yo, this dude said it 10 years ago. He's going for that bottle. Oh, my days. Mandem done made it to that bottle. That then sparks something within someone else. And that person then goes, you know what? Actually, I'm going to go for this door because I want this door. And then boom, you don't get to that door. So identity and purpose, it's not synonymous, but it can also be synonymous. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a vast topic. It's like it's very subjective as well. There's no right or wrong. So yeah, I don't know. Someone needs to jump in now. Otherwise, I'm gonna.
Yeah, but do you think like with identity, what I think is, I think with identity, it's also very difficult to try and navigate towards the bottle if I don't know who I am. You see, because then I can easily get distracted on my way to the bottle. So I think identity is such a fundamental part of like navigating purpose. And I think that's why as young people, we find it so difficult. Like, I'm struggling. I don't know whether this is my purpose. Like, yeah, I love this. People enjoy it. But if I do not know myself, if I do not take the time to introspect, then I can easily be derailed. So how did you guys then manage to not be derailed and to solidify your identities as Irvine and Gantane, respectively?
You see, I'm going to go back to change is constant. You get me? So you're trying to hold on to an identity as a disservice to yourself because you're not being in the moment and you're not actually... Because you see, it's not, for me, in my experience, it's not about the goal most of the time. It's about the journey, because the journey gives you more, and sometimes you reach the goal and you're like, oh wow, this is not actually what, and then it changes. That's the thing. People, okay, I've started to see people as computers. You are, depending your software you get given, your conditioning.
Yeah.
You get me? It's all about that. The word purpose, you got taught. Don't forget that.
Oh.
You get me?
Okay.
Language is taught to you.
Yeah.
People are like, oh no, I'm born. Oh, bro. It started somewhere. You learned. Nature of knowledge that you've learned it somewhere. You get me? So like purpose, identity is fleeting. It's fickle. It changes. And the thing is that we're trying to put structure on everything that is.
But I think there's also just like the human instinct to try and make sense of things.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People are not acting on the instincts anymore. They're acting traditional. Oh no, because this one did it. Or there's archetypes. The archetypes are, it's been changing. You see, we're at a stage where like, bruh, guys, this is not it. We can't perpetuate this where we're at. We all know it. We all feel it. It's the whole, the shambles are coming down. The curtain is coming down. We're seeing life for what it is. And that's why we as artists, we're having this conversation because we all feel there's a change about to happen. COVID came and like put everybody on. It's like, yo, what's up? Yeah. Now people are hustling. Whatever, things are changed. You gotta change. You gotta adapt. So if you're like, oh no, my identity is that, you're trying to hold on to something. You get me? That you maybe, and it's time for you to change. You get me? But you're like, oh no, because of that, it's my orthodox. No, I'm this. And no, bruh, you got taught that.
You got taught to be
Hence, we at the moment, the wars are, it's all egotistical now. I think we've become so narcissistic in our approach to life. You get me? It's become me, oh, I.
At the center of it all.
You get me? And the thing is, you can never escape the collective, bro. You get me? You can now seclude yourself wherever, but you'll have to come out of that gat and jy moet met die mense deel. You get the mense wil nie. En as jy dink almal voel nou ek is hier, ek my wat. I think we need to calm down and reset. You get, because it's become more egotistical. Corruption, this, that, so selfish, so narcissistic. You get, so I think purpose, identity changes every day. And if you're gonna hold yourself to that, I mean, hey, it's my opinion. You get, but I mean, if you're gonna set yourself to an orthodox spot, and maybe you needed to learn something, you close yourself off to something. You get me? And that's ever changed. The universe is so vast. You know, the fact that we think as humans we know everything. No, bruh. You got taught what you know. Don't forget that. And you can always learn and de-learn something. So there's no, and when people say, oh no, I'm like this, near, bruh. You can reset now. It's a mindset. And that's why I think we have to address that. And it's not even we have to, because look where we're at in the world. You get me? There's two major wars happening. It's nuclear disasters that can kill us all. People don't realize that. You get? And we have to change. And you know, we're too passive, I think, as humans, you know. And it's about the new generation. For me, it's always about making it better for the next generation. I do feel my generation failed the previous one. I really do feel that. You get me? Because where we're at now, youth is at now, I really feel the pain, the drugs, the whatever. There's no leadership. And I speak for Africa as a continent. Our leadership, we have a leadership crisis. Hence, everything is out of control. Drugs, this, that, you get me?
It's all over the place.
And that's why COVID was like, for me, a natural thing that just highlighted that. Like, what, and it showed like where the corruption. We're so corrupt. Our soul is so corrupt as human beings, you know, that we in a.
Let me ask you a question then. So you say we need to, for the next generation, we need to do better, or we need to make a change. I then ask you, what would you deem could be the type of changes that you would want to see, and also that you would want to pass on for the next generation to sit in a better place, for lack of a better?
Because we in a leadership crisis, and the only place you can find leadership is in yourself. I would say to try and inspire leadership in each single individual. You get me? Because everyone has a piece to the puzzle. Elke bring iets. You know, you might walk past a berg on the street, and that thought you have there might just inspire you to do something. So we connected. You get me? It's energy never dies. It just takes another form. So people think we're separate, but we connected in so deep. So my thing to answer your question is just basically just to inspire leadership, just to inspire responsibility, because that's the thing. We shun. There we go. Yeah. That's the thing of the youth. That's too much. No. Okay,
it's not my fault. They to blame.
I don't have to, bro. as your country, as mense praat van 'n mobiele praat van jou. As hulle praat van jou huis, hulle praat van jou so as die papier val daar so, moenie vir iemand anders wag om dit op te tel nie. Tel dit self op.
Yeah.
We're there where we have to take charge. We have to mobilize our communities. We have to mobilize ourselves because we cannot look to government or what. That's the thing, and that's how we crippled ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about taking responsibility, accountability, making your destiny your own. You get me? And like work, whatever, adapt or die, because that's the thing. Everybody's just standing back and like, oh yeah, you expect. It's insanity.
It is.
You do the same thing and you expect difference.
Something
You get me?
different. I think that also just ties into, that simple saying of being the change that you want to
There
see.
we go. Gandhi
It's as
said it.
simple as that. It's just like, okay, I know that in a couple of years, or I wouldn't want to be treated like that, so I'm not going to treat somebody like that. I don't want to be in a space like this, so I'm not going to leave the space like this. So it's exactly just, being the change that you want to see. So in regards to you guys, it's like the slightly older generation, no offense.
Oh, some taken.
Oh, wow.
Some taken.
just be the change that you want to see. I think that's like,
Most
what it all boils down to.
I have another question. Sorry to cut you. With regarding to what you just said, because this is going to be long-winded, so I hope I can tie it together. Because you spoke on purpose, and like you said, you enjoy this, but you don't know if it's your purpose. You don't know whether or not, like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then you spoke on how fickle life is in general, not even just purpose or identity. And then you spoke on there's a leadership crisis, and then creating leaders, which
In yourself, within yourself.
within your
inspiring it within yourself.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say with
Inspiring the leadership within others.
Exactly. Okay, let's say this. Let's clear it up. So you said create leaders or within yourself so that you either can inspire others to become leaders, not followers.
Exactly.
Because a great leader is someone who can lead and then, lead and follow, but lead for others to become leaders.
Yeah.
It's not someone who leads till the end of time and followers stay followers.
Yeah.
No, that's not, no.
Basically, the aspire to inspire thing.
Yes. So then I go, in order for one to inspire or to lead, that sits within one's identity. Identity is not necessarily a structure for me that is, that's who you are.
Yeah.
It's not rigid. Because throughout this life, identity is basically going, I identify.
Yeah.
It's basically
But
going,
it changes, bro.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it cannot be solid. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but
Yeah,
that's,
but I
that's
think,
what we're saying.
I think
it's not rigid.
as it changes, for a period of time, it is then rigid because you identify with it until you don't any longer.
Exactly.
So I think it's then,
I think this is the question that I'm trying to ask. That's why I said it's long-winded. This is the question that I'm trying to ask, is this. With this whole life thing, no one has the answers. Doesn't matter what people say.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is so relative, so subjective, it is what it is. But then again, we can't go on slogan living. But then again, we can't go on acting as if the ones before me did not walk that path and saw that there were stones there, and that's what the stones done do. They walk there, they know what the stones done do. You go, I heard that's what the stones done do, but you want to go figure out yourself. Then there's the other one who goes, no, I'm good. I heard what the stones done do. I don't want to figure it out. Then you get the one who's curious. It's all of this, right? So then you go, okay, cool. That's passed down. That could be conditioning. That could be, oh no, the stones don't do that. You take that knowledge, you didn't go figure it out yourself, you pass it down. The stones don't do this, don't.
Yeah.
That's also passed down. So I then go, you said you have to become part of the collective.
I didn't say you have.
No, okay, what you said, you have to come
said
out
the
of
thing
your...
is no matter how you
Eventually.
isolate yourself,
Eventually.
you cannot escape the collective.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
No
even,
matter
even
how you
better.
define yourself, you always have to deal with the public, bro.
Yeah.
You get?
No, even better.
The thing is, you see, inclusion is a hell of a drug. You get? No one wants to be excluded. So people will do things to be included into the group. You get? So you will convince yourself that I like that because of the group, but you get me?
But do you think that eventually, regardless of how regardless of how distant our identity is to the collective, we're always connected to the collective.
No, I think
like
identity is tied with the collective so much.
Yeah.
You get? Because I mean, you conditioned, you fed by whatever. That's
Yeah.
your stimulus. You
Yeah.
get me? So it affects you no matter how. So energy force it comes. So it will be if it comes in touch with your energy force. No matter how, if it comes through you or past you, it
Yeah.
affected you.
Yeah, so
if
it's
you hear a
also,
song or whatever,
Yeah.
if energy comes in contact with you, you'll be affected by it. You get me?
I'm gonna go devil's advocate on this one.
Please
I genuinely feel, because of how I move.
yeah.
That's
I don't
the
know.
thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Because what you're doing now is you're speaking generally. Do you get what I'm saying?
I can only speak from my perspective, bro. I'm not dominating and saying, yo, this is the law. This is only me, and that's all everyone
Based
can
on
ever
your
speak.
But that
experience.
exactly. But see,
So I'm not dominating
okay, cool.
and putting saying
I'll-
this is your experience. I'm saying
No.
me.
I
What-
feel
you
like
get-
this is going to lead to me having to change the title of this from navigating purpose to the conflict of purpose, because it's intense. Like, you can never be certain of what purpose is and what purpose looks like.
No.
Because it's always subjective. Like he said, it's subjective to his experiences and it's subjective to yours as well.
conditioning, everything.
So you're
everything
going to
plays
feel
a
like
part.
you're going to play devil's advocate in his narrative, and he's going to feel like he's playing devil's advocate in yours. So ultimately,
And
that
at the
is
end
the
of the
point.
day,
There
at the
is
end
no
of the day,
point.
There is no-
sometimes it's just plain ego, because you just want to be right and you just want to dominate the conversation. You get me? I'm not saying this is the case.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
I go.
No. You exactly. This man is this. You get me? Get me? Speak. We allowed to have our opinions, bro. You cannot. You get me? You being devils, I get that, but my opinion is still gonna be my opinion. You get me? And that's the thing. I don't have to. That's the cool thing about being in a democratic or just a free. They have freedom of speech. You're allowed to have your opinion. You get? No one's gonna shut you down, and that's my opinion. You
And
get?
your opinion is formed by your experiences. Ultimately,
And
as
your
much as you
conditioning.
guys have like similar work lives or whatever, you have different experiences, different narratives. So that is then ultimately what also affects your purpose and affects the process of you getting to it.
I think for me, it's like when I say play devil's advocate, is more so to create interesting conversation.
Yeah.
You don't create you don't put in a topic just for the sake of trolling. No, that's not what it is. This is more so to get interesting conversation out, because
In your perspective.
no, but my perspective, I'm strong. No, but understand.
But that's what I'm saying.
No,
You-
understand this. I'm strong within my. That's why I posed questions. I didn't say.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. You thinking that about yourself at the moment. You speaking
No.
now. You assuming people are seeing you like you seeing yourself.
You were just the guy who
That's
said
what I'm saying.
listening is a thing, and you're not listening to me.
I didn't say.
But
I
I
didn't,
think-
I didn't
I
use that
think-
word. I didn't use that word. You're not putting word in my mouth.
No, but I
Yeah.
think also it depends. Like for me, playing devil's advocate would mean simply bringing in a different perspective that was not there. It does not necessarily mean that it would be interesting or not interesting. It just means, oh, this
Look
was a
at what
thought
about
that
this?
we did.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So ultimately, we've come to the end.
Is that the end?
I just got started.
Because
How long was that?
I 25 minutes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
So we've come to the end
thought it was an
of
hour.
what was navigating purpose to what has now become the conflict of purpose. And I think we can
Well, that's
agree.
debatable. I don't know.
I think
conflict of
the-
purpose. Nah.
from this conversation, I think purpose
that's
is
a good title.
conflicting.
Mm.
Purpose is conflicting. Speaking from the perspective of somebody that's trying to navigate their own.
Yeah, no,
It's conflicting.
I agree with you.
So
I
it's
plead the fifth.
It's been great, guys. And I've had lovely guests with me, Gantane, Irvine, who have brilliant minds. Not only are their acting skills great, but their thinking abilities amazing. And we definitely will continue this conversation off screen. So from me, Jemima Ndebele, this has been Nothing But the Tea.